me how difficult last season was for her when she was injured, and then she did not enjoy being in the bubble. She said it was really difficult, but it motivated her. She wanted a healthy year, and she wanted to play well, and she wanted to have fun, and we're seeing that with her now.
Here's a look at our starting lineups tonight, familiar for both of these teams. We talked about Sylvia Fowles, the matchup against Liz Cambage. Asia Wilson, cannot forget about her, the 2020 MVP of the WNBA, and also the latest addition to the Las Vegas Aces, both Raquana Williams, who was kind of known as a bench player for a lot of her career, a really solid scoring one, but Chelsea Gray, second in the league in assists per game, doing what we expect.
Yeah, Chelsea Gray is something else, and she has been a huge, great addition to this Aces lineup, and she just changes the dynamics with her ability to disperse the ball and her ability to get into the paint and make a defense drop back, and then she can make decisions from there. So she really has changed the look of this Aces team.
Also in that 87-85 win at Atlanta, we saw a huge breakout performance from Damiris Jontis. We had not seen that breakthrough moment just yet, but 23 points for her, 6 threes against the Dream.
Yeah, really exactly what Minnesota needed. And Damiris has a really special skill that she can pull out, get on that three-point line and hit big shots. She can post up down low. She has a nice mid-range game, but that game we really saw her three-point shooting, and that kind of changes the way that defenses have to play Minnesota. So she can do that again in this game in particular. That would be critical.
And Leah, the Lynx are going to have to watch for the Aces, not just in the paint. They're number one in the WNBA in points in the paint, but they're also the third best when it comes to their three-point field goal shooting. And they do take the fewest attempts, but when they do, they're going to knock them down with players like Gray, with Plum off the bench, and of course with Williams too.
Yeah, I'm really liking the way that they kind of have moved in with Williams, and I'm super impressed with the spark plug that Plum has been, coming off of an injury, coming back and really being good. But you're exactly right. These players don't take a ton of threes, but they can make them, and that will be the difference in this game. If they make 5 or 6 three-pointers, the Aces, it's going to be bad news for the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the rest of the Aces bench with back-to-back 6th Player of the Year in De'Erica Hamby. We're going to be seeing her early and often. Minnesota coming out onto the floor in their teal? Blue? I should have thought of the descriptive term before this, but they're in their colored jerseys, the Las Vegas Aces in white on the road. And we should be seeing a jump between Sylvia Fowles and Liz Cambage. And Leah, I just have observed from interviewing these players, from my time being around the league, covering the league, and also seeing interactions on social media, that there is such a strong, not just friendship, but camaraderie and respect between Cambage and Fowles.
Well, you see them right there. There's kind of a hug at the start of the game, and there's a huge respect, and they both know what it takes to be one of the great bigs in the leagues, and we're seeing that right now.
6'6" versus 6'8", and the Minnesota Lynx will start things out. It's Lasia Clarendon.
Now, right away, I can see how Minnesota's moving quickly with a pace. That's good sign for Minnesota.
It's a good look for Kayla McBride. We know how quickly she can get rid of the ball.
Yeah, that her quick release is one of the reasons she's on this Minnesota Lynx team, because Cheryl Reed said very few players in the league get rid of the ball that quickly.
Here's Chelsea Gray, a very crafty point guard. And here's the matchup. Cambage and Fowles, expect it to be physical. And Cambage going against one of the best defensive players of all time in Fowles. And the mid-range jumper will fall as well.
And I love that. I love that Sylvia's going to start with that shot. Pull out a little bit, show that she has that finesse.
It's really been something she's added to her game. The last couple of years, I would say about 3 seasons, she's been shooting quite a bit more. She rarely shot outside of even 6 feet in the past.
That's exactly right.
Clarendon. And Fowles trying one more time. Rebound to Young.
Going to be interested to see how quickly the Aces get rolling here. This is a team coming off a long run without any games, I believe 8 days. And in the WNBA, that's an eternity.
Cambage will draw the foul. And she'll shoot 2.
Sylvia Fowles there to help pick her up, as you spoke about earlier, the respect for one another.
It's fun to see. There's so much discussion within basketball about, being positionless, trying to be as versatile as possible. So to see a move like that by Cam Beige, kind of lulling Syl right into the middle of the paint and that drop set, it makes my heart pitter-patter a little bit.
Well, and Cam Beige can handle the basketball like a guard. I mean, she's got some really nice moves, and I saw on her Instagram account, she has some fun videos where I'm like, okay, I wish I would have learned that back in the day.
Yes, exactly. I think she also calls herself the, center guard center.
There you go.
Combination.
That's the new way of doing it.
Starting a new thing. Nafisa Collier to Sylvia Fowles, the center, running the floor.
I love that communication between Collier and Fowles. That is going to be critical.
Going inside to Cam Beige again. That's what this team will continue to do. But Clarendon comes up with the steal, trying to collect it, and will finish.
Clarendon does a really good job of using their body to get the shot.
Minnesota leading 6-2, 2 minutes into the first quarter. Hard defense by Collier. First touch for Wilson, and she will drive past Dantas.
And good defense by Dantas. She did everything she could there, and the offense was just better.
That's so much of what we see with the Las Vegas Aces. You know exactly what they're going to do. You know exactly the scouting report on every single player. I think even fans around the league do. But yet they're so successful at asserting their will.
Absolutely. And this is, they are a talent-rich team and at every position. And Bill Lambier brings in people off the bench.
Beautiful look inside to Wilson. She can't finish, but Cam Beige will clean things up.
Yeah, Cam Beige hustling down there to get those rebounds.
Clarendon lobbing it up to Collier. Placed that perfectly for Nafisa.
A perfect pass. Good communication once again from the Lynx.
Here's Williams, her first shot attempt, and she'll drain it. She can be dangerous from outside the arc.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, her ability to come in and hit big shots for them and kind of get everyone thinking about her on the offensive end of the court. It's dangerous.
Clarendon inside to Fowles. She gets that separation from Cam Beige somehow.
Yeah, that was a miss there by Cam Beige. She was wide open. Sylvia Fowles takes advantage.
Cam Beige trying to hand it off to Williams and was unsuccessful at that. Here's Clarendon leaking out again and finishing on the fast break.
Looking so comfortable out there on the offensive end of the court. The Lynx sometimes sputter with their offense early on. Not tonight.
That's something that head coach Cheryl Reeve has talked about. They found themselves in deficits early in games, and she says, we've experienced it enough that we now know how to respond, and this is the kind of start you want to see to avoid that situation.
Exactly, and I think they are at the point in the season. We saw a slow start from the Minnesota Lynx for a lot of reasons this year, but I think they're at that point now where they really know who they are as a team.
7 games left before the Olympic break as Fowles goes to work. A beautiful move against Cam Beige.
Yeah, go in there early and often, and until they take it from you, then work on something else. You don't have to force it, but you want to go early and often.
Collier pushing the ball into the front court, leaving it for Clarendon. Collier posting up hard against Young. That might be a matchup that Minnesota's looking for.
Yeah, I like that. Collier is going to come in with an advantage there, and this is what is so interesting and versatile about Collier. She's 6'1". She is a tough matchup oftentimes. She can play the 3-4. And so the matchups against her can be difficult.
We immediately see Young subbed out of the game for De'Erica Hamby. Not quite that same matchup, but Collier will score just as easily.
And why does she score there? Her ability to cut to the basket so quickly. She moves so well without the ball.
Hamby swinging. Williams will line up that 3 and corralled by Fowles.
Sylvia's doing her work in there, getting rebounds, hitting shots.
Lob inside. Collier. 10 on the shot clock for Dantas. Her go-to fadeaway. It's too good.
And I love it. And I love the fact that Collier is able to save that play and get the ball to Dantas.
almost knocked away. Dantas guarding Wilson in the post, making that tough, and the MVP nets.
Yeah, she's just so good. Asia's so good. And that little turnaround's almost impossible to stop. And I like how Dantas thought she wasn't going to foul. She just went straight up and then kind of backed off.
She didn't allow her to get any closer to the basket, stood her ground, and that's what an MVP does.
Yep, exactly.
Collier almost thought against it. That time puts up a three. It's left short. Gray one-on-one against McBride. And to Wilson again. She loves that high post and a rebound to feet.
Nice little defense there. McBride comes in to help out a little bit against the great one, Asia Wilson.
Multiple times the Lynx keeping the Aces to one and done as well. But this time they'll turn it over. Midway through the first quarter, Minnesota with a comfortable lead here, 18-11 at Target Center, trying to make a statement against the second best team in WNBA. The Minnesota Lynx with an 18-11 lead over the Las Vegas Aces early, and it is Pride Night at Target Center. The celebration of LGBTQ plus pride presented by Deloitte. The WNBA will collaborate with Glisten and Fanatics on an exclusive line of pride apparel, including Fanatics branded WNBA t-shirts. All WNBA proceeds will benefit Glisten, and fans can purchase the shirts at WNBAstore.nba.com.
Cambay showing she can hit from outside as well.
She is not afraid to go beyond the arc or that long range two for sure. Here is Collier trying to work against Cam Beige and drawing the foul.
Yeah, just a finesse player. That's what Nafisa Collier is, and she has the ability to kind of get the opponent, the defense, to foul her to get her to the free throw line.
That's just the first on Cam Beige. No one with more than one on either side so far. Collier this week was named a member of Team USA at age 24. She's the youngest member of the team. She talked about getting the official news while on the team bus and being surrounded by cheers and applause of her teammates. And it's just great to see. I'm very excited to see what she does in Tokyo.
I know. What a great, great honor to see her head off with Sylvia Fowles and Cheryl Reeve as an assistant coach. Lynx are well represented.
Wilson will net that one right in the paint. A lot of ball movement from the Aces there.
Yeah, a lot of ball movement, and Wilson's getting probably a little too comfortable out there where Lynx might have to look at an adjustment to slow her down.
Clarendon finds Collier, takes a bump from Hamby, and it goes out of bounds. It's interesting for Nafisa to go from a Jackie Young, who this is maybe her first season really playing at the three. She had been even a point guard before. And then to someone like Hamby, who can play a 4 or 5 even.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Gray from the free throw line. She will get that to drop. She's been patient today. That's her first bucket.
It's exactly what the Lynx don't need is for Gray to heat up, because she's a player that can change the momentum of a game.
Another member of Team USA. Clarendon out to Dantas, well contested shot, and a rebound picked up by Plum. Gray, the no-look pass, Cam Beige to Wilson. She can't finish, but that would have been a remarkable play.
It sure would have. It was good-looking basketball. Just couldn't finish it up at the hoop.
It looked like Cam Beige was passing it while in the air. Maybe she went no-look too. And it'll stay here with the Aces.
Yeah, it's a problem if you're going to give them 3 chances to score the ball.
Cam Beige draws the double team, trying to back down Collier, leaves open Plum one more time, and Hamby is fouled.
Yeah, 4 chances they're going to get to the free throw line. That's where Minnesota has to get a little more physical, work to get those rebounds, and maybe the 2 players coming in now will work to get some rebounds for Minnesota.
Jessica Shepard coming into today was listed as probable. She has dealt with a groin injury, and it's been tough for her to see now her 3rd season again interrupted by injury.
Yeah, I really would like to see her play more healthy. She's just a really good passing big and can be super effective on the court. We just can't get enough minutes from her yet.
Bridget Carlton is going to pick up that foul just as she comes in. And there you see the value of Hamby, not just her size, but how quickly she cut to the basket. Hamby was one of 6 aces that ended up in double figures their most recent game, and there is a timeout called on the floor with 1:56 left. Now just a 3-point game at this point. The depth of the aces is showing at this point when you can bring in Plum and Hamby and close the gap.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's what makes this team so dangerous. And Bill Lambier has just done an excellent job of building and bringing in so much talent on this team. And when you can bring someone in like Plum that can make an instant impact on this team, her ability to get her teammates involved and then her ability to hit big shots. But Hamby as well is just, she's just been so impressive in this league. Her size at 6'3", the forward, her ability to kind of be a bully and be strong and to score the ball. So they just kind of have one player after the other who keeps coming in. It's a deep bench.
Well, Minnesota has, in the last time out, they have not scored in the paint since, but leading that category 14-6. Also 6 fast break points for Minnesota too, but the opportunities have been slowed down because of that Vegas offensive rebounding.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, and this is what Vegas does well. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, and it's a team that you have to be physical with. That means you have to put a body on them when the ball goes up, and you can't. In this last possession that the Vegas had, they had 4 opportunities and then eventually get to the free throw line. You can't let that happen.
Second free throw coming up for Hamby. She goes 0 for 2. So a gift for Minnesota. Crystal Dangerfield, new into the game as well. Into Collier. McBride from the corner on her birthday knocks down the 3.
Good decision making by Collier. Getting that ball out. Looked at Wilson, didn't want to take the shot, gets it to her teammate.
And Beige puts it on the floor. Good rebound by Wilson, and she will earn a trip to the foul line.
Again, that's where you need a body on her. She can't float around in the lane and just pull down boards.
And Asia Wilson has vastly improved her free throw shooting from last year, from about 73% to now 93%. And I know it is early, but she and Cam Beige tend to have the highest free throw rate, so we know she's shooting a lot.
Yes, and that means they're being physical, they're in the paint, they're using their bodies smartly to get the defenses to follow them.
They're a team that is perfectly happy with shooting 25 free throws a game if they can get it. Maybe not what fans always want to see, but that's how they want to play.
Exactly, and that means you have options. You can get to the free throw line, you can get it in the paint, or you can kick it out to the 3-point line.
Turnover by Shepard. Hamby capable of going coast to coast, and she'll complete it.
That's exactly what she does. Such a solid player.
High post from Collier. Ten on the shot clock for the Lynx. Tough spot for McBride. She's going to spin the opposite direction as they played that pick and roll well. Difficult shot for McBride. Rebound to Cam Beige.
Yeah, nice defensive set there for the Aces. They made it really difficult for Minnesota to find anything that was open.
Nafisa Collier comes over with the help. It didn't matter when it's Asia Wilson.
Yeah, Nafisa looked frustrated on that because she thought she was straight up and down. But it's just hard to guard someone like Wilson. Let's see. She comes in. And it did look like she was straight up and down. So her hand may have been a little bit reaching into her, but, Wilson's going to get that call.
After the whistle blows, everyone's hands are straight up, but maybe before
there you
is
go.
the questionable
there you
part.
Go.
But we know Asia and Fee have a great friendship. They host their podcast together, The Tea with A and Fee, which
so awesome.
Nafisa did confirm is going to be happening in Tokyo.
Is that right?
So I want the dish and I want the tea, and they're bringing it to us.
Love it.
As Nafisa Collier in the paint and one right back at the Aces.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why she's just a young rising star in this league. Just her ability to be strong, physical, down low. She's only 6'1", but she can score easily.
That took the lead back from the Aces after they took it. And back in Minnesota's possession with that three-point play from Collier. Bantam new into the game, as is Jisoo Park, who's a member of the South Korean national team. Kelsey Plum taking the time down. A high screen from Wilson. Finds Hamby underneath. The Lynx lost track of her.
That's what Plum does so well. She sees the court, her teammates, and just comes in and makes an immediate impact.
Difficult shot by Bantam. We know she can hit buzzer beaters. That time not in the cards. It is a tie game. Minnesota and the Las Vegas Aces, 26 apiece as we head to the second quarter. The Las Vegas Aces closing out the first quarter, getting 6 points in the paint. They took their first lead since it was 9-8, but after the first quarter, tied at 1 here at Target Center.
Aces doing a nice job controlling the boards in this game.
Asia Wilson with a game-high 11 points so far, does not connect that time.
And that time Sylvia Fowles comes up with the rebound.
Dangerfield, that rims out. Hamby trying to look inside. Young wants that matchup against Dangerfield. Shoots right over her. That's no good.
Yeah, and a nice help there by Dantas coming over to help Dangerfield.
Dangerfield keeping her dribble. Had it almost knocked away, using every part of the court. Down into Dantas, going hard against Hamby, and a rebound to Park.
Yeah, Dantas was hoping she'd get a foul called on that one.
Plum spinning her way in and off glass.
Now, Plum's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. You can just see when she steps on the court, she knows she's going to either score or assist or do something to help her team.
She's not far removed from a 30-point game off the bench, averaging 21 overall the last 3. And Sylvia Fowles, perfect position and finish.
When she works that hard to get that deep in the paint, you get her that pass, and Collier does just such a great job of lobbing that in.
And the passes into Syl have been really strong tonight. That was something Reeve talked about. Throw it as high as possible, and Syl will go get it.
Exactly. She can get those high balls, and you can't throw it too low. You let everyone else get involved in it.
Dangerfield has Plum on her, resetting the offense. Dangerfield inside to Fowles, and just as we say that would have been too high.
Yeah, that was frustrating. Coach Reeve was frustrated by that. Their offense got logged down and just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do there.
Plum gets into the paint, kicks it out to Hamby, and she'll knock down the 3-ball.
Just too many options, too many people who can score on this team. In defense, you just can't let down in any area.
Timeout called by head coach Cheryl Reeve, not happy about how her team is looking on those back-to-back possessions. Minnesota down by 3, almost midway through the second quarter. Welcome back to Target Center. AT&T WNBA All-Star is back. Head to WNBA.com/vote or download the new WNBA app to vote daily until June 27th. Sylvia Fowles, that hook shot. What can you say?
It's impossible to stop. That's what you can say about it.
Jisoo Park posting up against Dantas. She'll set a screen for Gray. Gray being patient, fading, and Cam Beige, the offensive board.
Cam Beige just does a nice job of quickly getting the board and popping it back out to the perimeter player on the three-point line. Coming out to set a screen to roll to the basket.
Knocked away by Fowles. Pass not there. Looking for Cam Beige. Minnesota with it now. And knocked it down to take the lead back.
Yeah, that's a big shot for Clarendon. Showing you can be effective from different parts of the court.
blocking foul, and Gray still almost completed that pass successfully. That's going to go against Dantas. So far, Carleton with 2. No other aces with more than 1. That's the first on Damiris. $15 on the shot clock for the aces. Plum will pull it up and left short. Clarendon on the run out once more.
Clarendon's so fast. Really has the ability to make something happen on the offensive end.
Clarendon knocks it down in the paint. Back-to-back baskets, and he's 4 for 4. Hamby taking it from the perimeter in with power, but rebounded by Dantas. Big stops for the Minnesota Lynx as Collier has not been stopped, and only until she's fouled.
I love the fact that Nafisa knows to push the pace right there. Let's see if we can get an easy basket before the Aces can get back and set up in their defense. And she's able to get herself to the free throw line, and that's one thing you can do against this Aces team if you can get down court before they get set.
And you saw Cam Beige there, not happy with that foul called on her. She now has 2. And she's still talking about this foul here at the block. And Collier nets the second. 4-point lead. Minnesota is led by as many as 9 coming in the first quarter. Aggressive defense on the perimeter by Fee. Wilson calling for it against Dantas. She lost it and then drew the foul.
Yeah, you can see the Minnesota defense collapsing as Wilson gets the ball, but there's really nothing you can do at that point. As soon as she gets it and decides which move she makes, Dantas moves her body into her.
And it's difficult because of her post moves, that she can put it on the ground, that she has speed and power and size.
Yeah, she's so good at turning to face the basket and then making a decision from there of what to do. She doesn't just turn and shoot. She can do that, but the ability to turn and look and make a decision is really key.
That is 2 on Dantas, by the way. Carleton also with 2. Jackie Young coming in. Laquana Williams coming in as well for Las Vegas. Collier almost got stuck in the air. Instead, picks up an assist with Kayla McBride with another 3. She's 2 for 2 from there.
Yeah, starting to heat up, and that's exactly what the Lynx need from Kayla McBride, the hot shot.
She had an excellent game against the Dream. 7 of her 9 points coming in the fourth quarter as Cam Beige trying to quiet down this crowd.
Yeah, she sure did, and Cam Beige just shows you how difficult she is to guard when she's going to sit on that three-point line and hit that shot.
Dantas, wide open look, rebound to Liz Cam Beige. Gray speeding through, and she'll take it.
Such a finesse player, just a pretty shot right inside the paint.
It was like she realized, oh, I've lost her, so I guess I'll take this.
Yes, I'll take this one.
Hand off Clarendon in some traffic. We'll get it to McBride, looking for back-to-back, and another rebound for Cam Beige. Quick pass into Wilson, blocked by Collier and saved in bounds. Inside to fouls. The entire Lynx bench popped up looking for a foul on that play.
Sure did, and I know Sylvia got a little frustrated there.
There's the point center at work, handing it off to Asia Wilson for 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of good big play going on right now. We're seeing We're seeing players showing up and showing out.
I just unabashedly, I have no shame in saying that I'm a fan of this matchup for that exact reason.
Me too.
Long range off the mark. Rebound to Wilson. Williams trying to lose McBride. Wilson along two. McBride's got it. Val's trying to post up Cam Beige deep. And they will battle along the baseline. The reversal is good.
Well, that's a nice looking move that we don't see all the time from Sylvia Fowles, but that was impressive.
There's certain matchups, and the numbers are few because of how few really elite centers there are.
That's right. Where
you have to pull a couple things out of your bag. That shot missed and picked up by Williams. And a timeout called by the Las Vegas Aces. Under 3 to go here at Target Center. Game tied at 40. The Minnesota Lynx trying to take it to the Las Vegas Aces, who have won 5 in a row coming into this road matchup. 7 ties, 7 lead changes so far here at Target Center. It's a tie game again, under 3 to go before halftime. Gray drawing the foul against Carleton, and that is number 3.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup right there for Carleton, and Gray's savvy enough to know how she can take advantage of it.
Young with it now. Gray dumping it into Hamby, and even with multiple Lynx flying, she completes that.
Gray's so good because she doesn't hesitate. When she sees the open player, it's immediate.
And Gray is going to pick up the foul from preventing Alicia Clarendon from moving cleanly through the lane. That is a physical matchup if I've ever seen one between those two. And stolen by Wilson. She played that very well.
Yeah, she sure did. Damaris was trying to move before she caught the ball.
Gray using the screen from Hamby, threads the needle. Wilson going for the offensive board, and 1.
They're just working out there, and Gray, it really starts with her right now because she's just distributing the ball so easily, making her teammates better, and then you can always count on Wilson to get the rebound and save you.
Wilson at the free throw line today, 5 for 5. She's got a game-high 17 points in this first half alone. Still not far behind with 14. And the lefty does not complete the three-point play. Clarendon looking inside, still had to move while she was looking to catch the ball, then finishes on the other side. Yeah. Such highly skilled work.
She makes it look so easy, and it's not easy to do what she just did.
And that's why I pointed out as Wilson will not finish that underneath, is that it doesn't look like a flashy play, but it's incredibly difficult. Collier falling away and getting that for 2.
Yeah, Collier loves that little fadeaway that gives her enough space to get that shot up and out.
Hamby is able to score right into the teeth of the Lynx defense.
Yeah, going downhill, moving without the basketball.
Clarendon hesitating, then looking inside. Is Collier giving it right back. Clarendon. And it will go back to Las Vegas. Las Vegas with a 2-point lead. They've trailed as many as 9 in this one. And Carleton bringing up the pressure a little bit. Collier trying to stay with Gray. She finds Young. Gray, well contested by Collier, but staying here once more. Gray, wonderful pass, and Wilson will finish.
It's amazing how comfortable and how well she knows where everybody wants that ball. I mean, that is just good-looking basketball.
Slowed it down and passed at just the right time. Under 10 on the shot clock. About a 5-second difference shot and game clock as Collier will miss that, and Wilson will pick up the rebound. Almost stolen by Carleton, but it is Las Vegas basketball.
Yeah, nice job by Carleton being effective on the defensive end, breaking up that play, which was key.
And there is another timeout called here. 2.7 seconds left. So, I mean, it's interesting timing. I guess trying to maybe try and build this lead a little bit more. Make sure that they can have a good look at this final possession.
Well, we know both of these coaches are the X's and O's. You know, both of these two are very serious about breaking down what they want their players to do, and we know that Coach Reeve has learned from Bill Lambier, so
Yes.
they probably know what the other one's going to do.
They've won championships together in Detroit, have a long-standing relationship that goes back, and I mean, second and fourth all-time wins. Lambier, I mean, he could get there this season. He's only 8 wins shy of 300.
Impressive.
Cheryl Reeve will, hit that at some point too, especially with how good her win percentage is. But they're not far removed, and they've had, it's gone from coaching tree to a really established career for Cheryl Reeve under him.
Yeah, and I love that, when they see each other on the road, they'll go have dinner with each other, but then it's like they're the two most competitive people probably in the building at any given moment.
It's maybe why they worked well together and why they don't like facing each other at this point.
Exactly.
.7 seconds left, knocked away by fouls. Carleton will not get the Hail Mary shot. So at the half, 48-44 is the lead for the Las Vegas Aces.
Really nice first half of basketball. We just saw some great post play. We saw some great perimeter play. The way that the perimeter players were distributing the ball in this game has been really impressive, and I think both teams are going to go into the locker room saying, good job, now we got to come out at a higher level in the second half.
Lee, you're right. Just an excellent first half. More to come. We will have some analysis of the first half, an interview with Katie Smith of the assistant coaching staff as well. A 4-point contest at Target Center, 48-44. The Las Vegas Aces with the lead. We are joined now by Lynx assistant coach Katie Smith. Thank you so much for joining us. Lynx assistant coach Katie Smith joining us. You had a solid first half, but how are you going to slow down Asia Wilson here in the second?
We got to work a little harder to not let her catch it on the block. Can't play behind and bring the help. So whenever she touches it, she's an opportunity to score and also get fouled. We got to protect the paint this half and then fly out at shooters.
Katie, we saw all 5 starters score in the first half of this game, but no one from the bench. Is it critical in the second half to get them involved?
We do. I mean, it's not necessarily get involved. They have to be ready when they get in the game. So when they're getting their chance to get in the game, it's their time to go and do what they do, right? And offensively and defensively show up. So they got to be ready.
Assistant coach Katie Smith, thanks so much for the time, and good luck in the second half. Well, those were the things that I was looking forward to in this second half. Is Asia Wilson with 19.7 for 16 shooting, and you're right that the depth of the Aces might outweigh the Lynx in this case, because we know they're a strong team, second in the WNBA standings, 10-3, 5-game winning streak, and sometimes that can be the difference where you get production.
Absolutely, and it's a tactic that Bill Lambier uses. He brings in those bench players one after the other, and it's how he's built his team. Now the Lynx have shown that they can win with a short bench, so that has been something they can do, but that will be key in this game for sure.
the Aces in their most recent game. Now, it was a blowout against the New York Liberty. They scored 100 points in back-to-back games against the Liberty that are kind of in a free fall at this point.
Yes.
But they did have 41 bench points in a 103-76 win. So, again, I know bench players getting more minutes in that case, 6 in double figures. You're going to see that in a 100-point game. But the point is, they're capable very much so of scoring.
It's amazing how many points the Aces can score, which is crazy that they've had 200-point games back-to-back.
Here is Jackie Young. She has not scored today so far. 0 for 3 from the floor. Here is Wilson, and right before Sill comes for the help defense, gets rid of it.
Yeah, that's just a smart play by the MVP. She just knows exactly where to be on the court, when to release that shot.
Clarendon resetting, waiting for fouls, hesitating, and then the lane opens right up.
It sure did. It's a fantastic read by Clarendon.
Williams looking for Cam Beige, the long 2, and a rebound to Sill. Collier to Sill, and this time Wilson with it.
Yeah, not a bad look, just a little bit hard off the glass.
She hit a couple of those mid-range jump shots in the first quarter when she jumped out to a very quick start. It was 8 for 10 from the field at halftime. Wilson really calling for it with Clarendon on her, and Young still not able to get on the board. Aces still leading by 4. Collier asking for it in the post, and Clarendon will travel.
Just a little bit of hesitation.
It happens even at this highest of highest levels where the excitement of seeing what's before you sets in.
Absolutely, and once you think about what you're gonna do, there's a chance you might travel.
Young with Collier on her. Wilson into Cam Beige. Blocked by fouls on the block. Wow.
Cam Beige doesn't like it. She said, "You hit me when you came down," but Sylvia Fowles says, "I don't think so." Let's see. She goes straight up and down. I don't think that's a foul. I like it.
Fantastic play by Fowles. This is what we were looking for in this matchup. Both Cam Beige and Dantas go falling to the ground. The foul against, I believe, Cam Beige.
We know that this is a game that can get really physical, really chippy quickly.
That is her 3rd foul. It's been a little bit of an off game. We talked at halftime about what a fantastic post matchup this is with Hamby, Wilson, Collier, and Fowles, and Cam Beige has been left out of that a little bit. Clarendon. Stolen by Wilson, and then right back.
In the right place at the right time for that one.
Collier calling for it hard, but she will be fouled by Young.
Again, for Collier, it's her ability to move quickly without the basketball and then gets the positioning, but catches defenses off guard.
Wilson is going to try and steal it once more. And then she will draw the foul on Clarendon. Really active defense by Wilson.
Yeah, a lot of active hands in the passing lanes.
So that's going to be the 2nd on Clarendon. So far, Dantas has 3, Carlton has 3. The Lynx already playing with a more limited bench. Jessica Shepard did appear in the first half, but she's still coming off an injury. She was listed as probable in this game after she again missed a few games in this part of the season. High screen from Cam Beige. Working through that pocket area is Gray, and Fowles will get the board.
Gray does a good job of holding off her defenders as she kind of shields the ball.
Cam Beige got the board. Wilson far outside the paint, still surveying, taking her time. The double team finds Young, who is right in front of the basket, but she's gonna find a more comfortable spot anyway.
Yeah, she's in a really good flow right now. The Lynx have let her get real comfortable out there, and the double team comes quickly. She knows when to get the ball out.
Minnesota trailing by 6, their largest deficit today. Dantis has not found that opportunity much today, passes it up. 2 on the shot clock for Clarendon, and she can't connect. Gray botting up against Clarendon. 2 very physical guards, and Clarendon is going to pick up their 3rd foul.
And it might be why we're not seeing a lot of Dangerfield in this game, is because Clarendon is a better matchup. As you can see how physical Gray is. She is so good at holding her defenders off, you know, kind of putting them in jail as she is bringing the ball down court.
I think that's a very good point. And because I compare Clarendon to a linebacker, and I mean that in the best way possible. Just thrashing at the line of scrimmage, sacrificing their body at all turns, and you need that in this matchup.
Yes, absolutely, and it's been a good battle.
Gray, the inbounder, 14 on the shot clock. Clarendon giving her plenty of space just outside of the reach of Collier. And Young will put up a shot. She's got a couple in this second half, up to 4.
Yeah, Collier got caught chasing there.
Jisoo Park new into the game for the Aces. Dantis down low. Young comes with the double team and the foul.
I'm really liking the high-low passing in this game for Minnesota. Just really good passes, and they're quick and it's clean. And you give Sylvia Fowles the opportunity to either get to the free throw line or score right off the pass.
Fouls today with 16 points, 8 for 11, 8 rebounds, coming off a 26, 19, and 5 block performance against the Atlanta Dream, a game they very much needed, found themselves down by 18. This one has been a different story. They got up by 9 early in the first quarter, and it's been really back and forth since. Almost midway through the 3rd quarter. Wilson handing off to Young, who's been feeling it, and an offensive foul will be called against the Aces. That's on Park.
See if Minnesota can take advantage. Here's
Collier
a mismatch.
wanting to go up against Young, will not get the 3-point play, but really what they are looking for.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And Collier knows right away that even if the shot isn't exactly the shot where she wants to get, she's going to go up against Young and take that shot.
Seems like Collier has been just watching her begging for the ball in these post-up situations, because she's a great post against, I mean, really anyone in this league, let alone when she has that positional advantage.
Yeah, she does a good job of getting deep and cutting to the basket, and that's why she's both good on the block but also on the perimeter, because it's her ability to kind of slash to the basket.
And just like we saw in the first half, a play like this happens and De'Erica Hamby comes right in.
Yes.
Back to a 4-point game. Quanah Williams back into the game as well. Gray backing down. Goes out of bounds. I was trying to find the words for a second on if that had been completed, because wow, what a pass that would have been. But
yes.
Instead of turnover by Gray. Both teams still shooting well as well. The Aces 46%, Minnesota down, quote unquote, to 51% as Dantis shakes off a defender, can't knock that down. She had 6 against Atlanta.
Collier gives Minnesota another opportunity.
Fouls through multiple defenders and 1.
Yeah, Sylvia Fowles is in a mode right now where she's playing some of her best basketball of the season. Look at that bully ball, using her body, turn around. There's nothing you can do about it.
20 points. Cheryl Reeve post-game against the Dream said, who is better? Who is the better center in the history of our league? She is the best center in the history of our league.
I'm going with it. I'm agreeing with Coach Reeve.
And she gets the three-point play up to 21 points. She's 3 for 3 from the line. And a whistle against the Aces. A technical foul. And it's against Liz Cambage. And I got to say, Leah, I could maybe see that coming with how she's reacted at some times today.
Well, everybody on the Vegas bench jumped up. I didn't see what the first call was that got everyone riled. And then Cambage came into the scene.
And it looks like there's going to be a discussion amongst the referees. Bill Lambier is displeased himself. And it looks like Kayla McBride, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, she's ready to go. I did not see exactly what provoked that from, or I should say what Cambage did to provoke the technical.
I didn't see it either.
We had seen her throughout the game be vocally and demonstrably upset with calls. And I think the fans have had fun kind of needling her a little bit extra as well, but it works in the benefit of Minnesota. And here are the Aces. Game tied at 54. That was an important play.
It sure was.
Plum almost loses it, and she will get that to go.
Yeah, works hard to get herself into the paint, decides to take it.
Wilson almost in that passing lane once more. She's got a couple steals in the second half. And another whistle against the Aces.
And Hamby working hard down there trying to cover Collier. She's doing a nice job defensively. Ends up getting the foul, but she was working hard down there.
And a timeout on the floor about midway through the third quarter. A back and forth affair here at Target Center. We've already got Sylvia Fowles above 20 points in this one with plenty more time to go. On Pride Night at Target Center, Minnesota trailing at this point. About midway through the third quarter by 2, 56-54. Nafisa Collier at the line. She's got 15. Recently saw Liz Cambage get whistled for a technical, and that tied up the game with Kayla McBride's free throw shooting. Wilson finds Plum. Cambage posting up. Plum turns it over. Clarendon coming up with the loose ball.
Good decision making by Clarendon.
Danta's short corner is good.
All that started by the defense of Clarendon. It's the offense rolling for Minnesota.
The crowd ignited here at Target Center with Minnesota taking back the lead once more. A very closely contested contest after Minnesota trailed their last game by 18. Not the case in this one. Plum goes underneath and it's short. McBride looking for Collier, who steps into that shot. Dantas powering her way right to the basket.
That's just good physical basketball. Dantas uses her strength and size to get those two.
She just moved Hamby out of the way.
She sure did.
Gray driving, kicking.
Ooh, sometimes you're too wide open.
Wilson will go to the free throw line once more, where she is 5 for 6 today.
Yeah, she's just so difficult because she does so many things well. And rebounding the ball and getting to the free throw line are a couple of them.
Something she does that certainly is not unique, but she really never brings the ball back down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important too. Like, let's not get the guards involved in this. Let's keep it up high.
A lesson you learn quite early as a post player. Nothing worse than being stripped by a little one.
Agreed.
Well, nearly identical stat lines for Wilson and Fowles, both 21 points, 8 rebounds apiece. Three minutes to go in the third quarter. Lob inside to Fowles, a difficult finish that she can't get.
Yeah, it's a tough pass down there. Sylvia usually can handle that one, but they had her under the basket.
Chelsea Gray like a locomotive getting the layup.
That's exactly right.
Collier getting Hamby up in the air and drawing the foul.
Yep, that's a pro move right there. Don't really have a shot, so you just use your body to create one.
Collier today, excellent as well. 16, 7, and 7 for her. We talked about Wilson's trips to the free throw line, but Fee has more. She's 8 for 9, make it 9 for 10. Her single season high, rather her career high, I should say, came just this year against Atlanta where she was 10 for 13. So getting quite close to that. Wilson not prepared for that pass. It was a nifty one by Gray, but the Lynx continue to get stops.
They sure do, and see if they can take advantage.
3-point lead for the Lynx. They've led by as many as 9. Wow. Beautiful pass. Collier into Fowles.
Doesn't get any better than that. That's great communication, a great pass, and great way to finish by Sylvia Fowles.
It had to be there at that exact moment. And Fowles will draw the foul, trying to knock that away from Cam Beige.
And that is exactly right, Sloan. When you think about getting the ball into your post player, it has to be immediate. You can't think about it because they're working down there to post up, and that's what we've seen from the Minnesota Lynx tonight, is their ability to make quick decisions to get the ball out.
That's something that, a frustration that Reeve and Sil have kind of dealt with sometimes, a frustration of making sure the ball gets into her in the right spot, and that's been fantastic tonight.
Well, earlier in the season, they spent a lot of time holding the ball over their heads, looking to get it into her, and that was frustrating Coach Reeve.
Another steal for Fowles. Clarendon bounces into the lane and gets 2.
Yeah, Clarendon and Fowles is doing a nice job of playing off of each other, little screens and picks and rolls. It looks good.
Gray, a really nice pass, finds Young for a long range 2.
Nice looking shot.
Into Collier, being guarded by Wilson. Turnaround jump shot does not go. Corralled by Cam Beige. Plum looking inside to Wilson, just outside of her reach, and Minnesota forcing turnovers continuously through this third quarter.
Yeah, that's big. Those usually don't see the Aces make that mistake. Usually that pass inside to Wilson is a solid one.
Minnesota has scored 19 points off of 13 turnovers by the Aces.
And this is an Aces team that doesn't turn the ball over. I think they turn it over as least as anyone else in the league, so that's impressive.
.45 seconds left. Collier will drive against Wilson, a bump, and that'll draw a whistle.
Collier has figured out in this game how to get herself to the free throw line.
Yes,
that is
indeed.
for sure, and that's what that's really about, is she knows how to use her body so well. She just has great body control, and you know, she doesn't waste any moves or any energy.
And her IQ.
Yep.
She's already going to match her career high for attempts in a game in the third quarter.
Too shabby.
Crystal Dangerfield coming in. We've not seen her in this third quarter. A 6-point lead for the Lynx. A little extra rest for Gray on the bench as well for the Aces. And Plum will immediately draw a foul.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating for Dangerfield to get in the game. That's not how you want to enter the game with that quick foul like that. And Plum, you know, kind of acting like a savvy player, knowing that if I can get her up in the air, I can get the foul.
We've seen that a similar kind of move from the Aces a couple times tonight. Gray and now Plum. Plum today with 5 points. Between Hamby and Plum, 16 bench points for the Aces, 0 for Minnesota. Shepard looking inside to Collier, who collects it and gets it off glass.
Again, when you move well without the basketball, you get positioning, and you get positioning on the greatest player in the WNBA, in A'ja Wilson. I should say one of the greatest players. There's a lot of great players,
yes,
but she's definitely up there.
Easy to say that about the most recent MVP,
yes,
though.
Exactly.
Plum, not there. It lands in the hands of McBride. No chance on that final shot. So going into the fourth quarter, a 6-point lead, 69-63. It has been a fantastic game so far. 10 more minutes to go. Can the Lynx upset the Las Vegas Aces at 10-3 this season? In celebration of LGBTQ plus pride presented by Deloitte, the WNBA will collaborate with Glisten and Fanatics on an exclusive line of pride apparel, including Fanatics branded WNBA t-shirts. All WNBA proceeds will benefit Glisten. Fans can purchase the t-shirts at WNBAstore.nba.com. Start of the fourth quarter, Minnesota outscoring the Aces in the third by 10, ending the third quarter on a 23-9 run.
Minnesota has 40 points in the paint. That's exactly where they want to be. They got to build on that because the Aces aren't too far behind.
Lob inside to Collier, somehow chases that down, somehow didn't get it stolen by Raquana Williams, and there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Carlton will pull up near the free throw line, and that will fall in.
And that'll provide some bench points for Minnesota. Getting Carlton in there. If she could get hot in this one, that would be big.
And that's their first bench points of the entire game here in the fourth quarter. Wilson. Aces moving it around the perimeter. It is Plum. Park trying to battle for it, but Shepard holds her off.
Yeah, nice job, Shepard. She did actually hold her off a little bit so she could pull that board in.
I meant also figuratively, but
nice.
Drop down low. It's Shepard to Collier, the type of playmaking they expect from Shepard. It is a game-high 10-point lead, a timeout called on the floor.
That just looked really good. That's great communication. Collier is just having an outstanding game, and it's good to see Jessica Shepard get in this game and make an impact.
Well, Minnesota up 73-63. The rest of the fourth quarter coming up with Minnesota trying to pull an upset. AT&T WNBA All-Star is back. Head over to WNBA.com/vote or download the new WNBA app to vote daily until June 27th. We'll see. I expect to see players from both of these rosters in the All-Star game going up against the Olympians. So lots of players involved.
Yeah, I think that'll be really fun. I love the fact that they're playing the Olympians.
I think it'll be a good tune-up as well going into Tokyo. Shepard handing it off to McBride. Minnesota a very strong third quarter, outscoring the Aces by 10 as Hamby will get the rebound. Williams, a step back three, no.
Nice little tip there. I think McBride got a little piece of that.
No one stopping Collier. And McBride can't knock it down. Rebound to Shepard, who's been a nice spark in the second half. Collier, good look. And a rebound to Cambage. Still showing her displeasure toward the referees, a common theme in this game, but Hamby will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I think in the last 7 minutes of this game, if Cambage could really compose herself and really start being effective down low, that would change things for the Aces, because she has the ability to impact a game that way. But the battles down low with Sylvia have been difficult for her.
Well, Cambage, I mean, still putting up numbers, 9 points, 12 rebounds as Hamby misses the first, but it has been a struggle.
Yes, she's been working for it. And that's what happens when you get the two bigs going against each other. Listen to Bill Lambier talk about Cambage this year, though, and he really says that she is so locked in, and he's so impressed with how she's shown up and her energy, and how, you know, she is an energy player, and, like, you know, she impacts the rest of the team with that.
Collier can't get that to go. Gray pulling up a difficult shot, rims out, bouncing around. Wilson is fouled. And that's going to be number 3 on Sill. Dantas has 4, by the way. Clarendon with 3, Carlton with 3, Collier has 2.
So it should be nothing to worry about, I would say, going through next 6:52, but we will see.
You know, when you're playing a team like the Aces that has won 5 games in a row,
yes.
They're 10-3 this season, that you wonder when that mentality is going to kick in to turn this around.
Yeah, they know how to win. And they know how to win in big situations, so you can never let down in a game like this.
A team looking to go back to the WNBA Finals. They were swept by Seattle last year. Clarendon looking for fouls, delivers it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. McBride flips it up and in.
And again, that's about movement without the ball. McBride knowing to cut hard to the basket so she can get the pass from Sylvia Fowles.
Hamby attacking, gets blocked by Fee, but a foul first.
Yeah, Hamby's been very impactful in this game, effective at getting to the free throw line, making herself known.
Hamby's got 12, the leading scorer off the bench for either team. She's only 2 for 5 from the free throw line today, so earning those opportunities. And won't go 2 for 2 this time. Cambage is fouled, might have taken a shot to the eye or head, and she will shoot free throws. And that is going to be on Sill, and that is her 4th.
Okay, so when I just said that we didn't think fouls were going to be a problem, it could possibly be a problem.
You know, just like clockwork.
Exactly.
That's how it happens.
Yep.
Cambage. 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. She's got a double-double, 10 and 13. She scored in double figures dating back to, of course, 2019, because she didn't play all last year, but a double-digit streak of those kind of games. Sill, 10 seconds to go. Stopped by Cambage, trying to swing it through, and she will draw a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Cambage is frustrated with that one, but Sylvia Fowles had to work for that.
She did.
She really did, so.
And this is when I can see the frustration for Cambage, where you've really made her take not a Sylvia Fowles kind of shot.
Yeah, Sylvia was knowing I'm just going to try to get fouled here because I'm probably not going to make this shot.
So for Cambage, that's just her, actually, I should say that's her 4th. So both centers have 4 fouls apiece. Sill from the free throw line, 4 for 4, and she's up to 24 points, 10 rebounds.
What we're seeing from both of the bigs is that they're being aggressive. They do have fouls, but they're both playing really good basketball.
Minnesota maintaining this lead as we get closer to the midway point of the fourth quarter. They've led by as many as 10, that coming here in the second half, but got out to an early lead as Wilson will not get that to go.
It would look like Sylvia maybe got a hand on that.
Into Collier. Here's Clarendon. McBride again flipping it up, and a rebound to Wilson. She's got 24 and 11. Gray, so physical, but will not get the layup, staying with the Aces. And there's another whistle, perhaps the clock? Oh no, there is a foul. Thought I saw the referee look up at the clock momentarily, but it is going to be a whistle against Minnesota.
Well, the Lynx are making it difficult for the Aces on the offensive end, but the Aces tend to find a way to score.
They are first in the league in not just points per game, but offensive rating as well. And that's why I like to look at both to give you the best picture possible of really how good this offense is. And the answer with the Aces is that it's very good.
It's really, really good. And I don't know, it's interesting because you always think of Bill Lambier and Cheryl Reeve as like being super defensive driven teams, and Bill Lambier brings in a real offensive team.
And I wonder how much of that is Gray coming into the mix. And that is perfectly dropped in by Clarendon. Clarendon up to 14.7 for 9 from the field. 6 assists to go along with it.
Yeah, they have been fantastic in this game. Clarendon just from start to end making an impact, dishing the ball, getting into the lane.
Shepard able to knock that away. She has certainly come in and made an impact already. 3 assists, 4 boards. Cecile will pick up another board. Shepard lob inside, but taken away by Plum. The entire fan base at Target Center and Sylvia Fowles was looking for a whistle on that one.
They sure were. And I like how Jessica Shepard's playing right now.
There's a replay. Sil, certainly upset with not having a call there. Plum at the free throw line, still the boos raining down.
The fans at Target Center don't like it.
Yeah, and you don't have to be an expert lip reader to know Sil's feelings about this.
This is true.
Clarendon bringing up the ball. 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Still holding on to a significant lead as we get later into the game. Fouls against Cam Bage, just sneaks past her and draws another foul. That's number 5 on Cam Bage.
Again, I want to say Cam Bage really making Sylvia Fowles work for it, but Sylvia's just so savvy. Puts the ball on the ground, leans in, stretches to the basket, and is able to get the foul.
It still is, we know just the legacy of Sylvia Fowles.
Yes.
We talked about how Cheryl Reeves says she is the best center in the history of the game, but it is fun to see this battle when you have someone who really has the size, skill, talent to make it hard. It feels weird to say it. It's interesting to see Sil struggle and still put up these kinds of numbers.
Right.
But it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, and I think this is why she thrives in these types of games.
Liz Cam Bage did not like that contact, or rather something that was said. Just Shepard and Collier appealing to the referees. So Cambage was fouled, fell to the ground. Not sure if it was contact or words that might have gotten under her skin.
Here we go again.
Cambage has already been teed up in this game. And it looks like there's going to be a review of this.
Well, we knew it could get heated. This was going to be this is a game about physicality, when it's about bigs out there doing what they do. And we know that Liz Cambage comes in here and she's fiery, that she's
Yes.
going to give you a lot. She's going to go at you.
Yes.
And that's what we're seeing here with 4 minutes left in this one.
I think you're exactly right that it is the physicality that can breed that intensity that we see. And, you know, Cambage is known for being a personality around the league. And I think that's why she might be kind of hot and cold with some people and fans too. But she, I mean, you can't deny the impact she has, the talent she is too. But I think she likes that persona where some people like her and some people maybe don't.
Right.
But that's what you see come out in her play, is that emotion.
Absolutely. And she isn't going to back down to anyone, which is real clear.
That's
Real
exactly
clear.
right. Jessica Shepard looked a little taken aback by what she might have done to provoke that. But of course, we don't have our ears down there.
Right, right. Once again, you know, this is a night I wish we could be up close and personal. We haven't made it down to the court side yet. We're getting closer, we know.
I know we're getting closer to having perhaps maybe fans getting closer too.
Yes.
I can't say that I've sat courtside too many times, but it would be fun to observe those kinds of moments up close.
You hear a lot more, I'll just tell you that much.
Well, it is going to be free throws here for Cambage. Nothing else was added on, tacked on, adjusted, or changed. It's just Cambage was fouled coming up with that loose ball.
All right. The Lynx coaches don't seem in agreement with it.
That's on Shepard, and that is, 16 fouls, so free throws the rest of the way.
Coach Reeve, Rebecca Brunson, Annette Pearson, Katie Smith, the whole crew. They're not happy.
Very animated Lynx bench and coaching staff. And fans. It's just, we've said it throughout, this has just been a fun game because of the quality and just little battles like this.
Yes, I love it.
Cambage 2 for 2, clapping as she backpedals back on defense. I think she's feeling locked in. Clarendon into the paint, trying to muscle up against Gray. Gray knocks it away. A fantastic matchup between those two today. Collier calling for it, surrounded by 3 aces, and she travels.
And that's a rare travel there for Collier. She's just so good on her feet. She's got 3 defenders on her. She's trying to hold on.
She might not have known. She might have maybe been able to tell where the help defense was coming from, but maybe not that 3 were there.
Exactly.
Gray to Wilson, kicking out to Hamby. Lots of ball movement by the aces, but it's always going to touch the paint, and Collier comes away with it.
Liking Shepard's defense in this game. She's been good.
She played minimally in the first half, but was put back in, provided a spark, and she's stayed out. Fouls, looking for Clarendon. Difficult finish, and she gets the 2.
Clarendon can make something happen out of nothing.
Hamby stepping into a 3. It's not there. Rebound to McBride. Minnesota in a very good spot, up by 9, under 3 to go. Inside to Fowles. He can't increase that lead. Plum will go all the way.
Yeah, that was quick, easy offense by the Aces. They had him beat in a couple different situations.
It's a 7-point game now. Cambage fronting Sill. Sill is trying to direct her guards. saying point it up, get it up high for me. Shepard trying to dump it in, and it's shot clock violation, a turnover either way. Plum accelerating, and she will shoot two.
Yeah, it's a smart play by Plum.
2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. A tight one here at Target Center. Vegas trying to make a move, coming back from a long sustained second half deficit. Kelsey Plum of the Las Vegas Aces trying to eat into this second half deficit they have faced for much of the latter parts of this game. Vegas just a few minutes ago, the 3-minute mark, down by 9. And that makes it 5. Minnesota, their most recent game against the Dream, we're down by 9 with 6:30 left. So the Aces trying to pull that kind of comeback in this one. Clarendon finds fouls. It was poked away. She was looking for a whistle that time. It doesn't come. Plum attacking and finishing. She has been a spark for the Aces and one for her.
Yeah, she sure has, and she's bringing a lot of emotion right now to her team that needs it, but her ability right here to attack and get to the basket, she's made some really good decisions the last few minutes of this game. She's trying to get her team pumped up.
Plum was scoreless through the first half. She's got 14 now, 6 coming from the foul line. And she will complete it. In fact, Plum, through the first 3 quarters, all of her 14, or rather her 15 points, have come in this fourth quarter. Almost stolen away. Five on the shot clock for Clarendon. Right into the face of Gray, who takes that hard charge.
Yeah, give Gray credit there. She could sense that Clarendon was coming hard in the lane, and she was ready.
I think that was a case where she knows how physical this matchup has been, and it came at a really good time for the Aces.
Yep.
It's a 2-point game. Again, at the 3:11 mark, it was a 9-point lead for the Minnesota Lynx. 1 minute to go. Very much a ball game, but Cambage throws it away.
It's the first bad pass we've seen from big to big in this game, and it comes at a critical time with a minute left.
Timeout called on the floor after a huge play. And Minnesota, do you think that there is concern setting in? I mean, you've seen this lead evaporate, but how do you make sure that that does not manifest and when they come back onto the floor?
Well, I can tell you I'm concerned. Yes. I'm concerned because the Lynx are up by 2. We're on a 7-0 Aces run, and Plum seems to be in charge of all of this. Like, she has been super impactful in the last few minutes.
And well, it's exactly what you've talked about, the bench and the depth of the Aces. You said at halftime that that could end up surfacing with Minnesota not able to equal that punch. Here's a look at where we're at from some individual stats. Fouls, Collier, amazing game so far. Balanced scoring really on both sides.
Yeah, you see the expected athletes having great games in this one, which, you know, you got to win with your best in this one, and the Lynx don't have as many options to win with, but they're sitting on a 2-point lead with 1:01 left.
It's Minnesota basketball. Clarendon will get it to McBride, into the post for Collier. Had to reach out for that one, being physical with Wilson, trying to shoot over her, and the Aces have it. 40 seconds to go for Las Vegas, trying to extend their win streak to 6.
They're going to try to go to Wilson, I bet.
Plum finds Wilson, but stopped by Minnesota.
Huge defensive effort. Everyone knew what was getting ready to happen on the court. Plum was looking for the roll from Asia Wilson.
I'm going to review this call to determine possession. Sylvia Fowles had a similar play in the Dream game where she came from the opposite block in order to block a shot, and it looked very similar there where that looked like it was going to be a clear layup for Wilson.
Right, and that's, that's her length and her athleticism, her ability to, she also knows what Wilson is looking to do as well.
A replay being looked at the moment to make sure the ball's placed in the right spot. 32 seconds left. Minnesota had a 9-point lead as early as as recently, I should say, at the 3:02 mark.
And if you look at the play of Plum with 15 points, 3 assists, she kind of uplifted her game and started distributing and playing harder and kind of moving, pushing the pace to get points for her team when it was most needed.
So it's Minnesota basketball. And Leah, since you were just talking about Kelsey Plum, I want to correct. She had 6 points at the end of the third quarter, so still a fantastic fourth, but all of her points coming at least in the second half.
Got it.
Dantas back into the game. We've seen a lot of Shepherd in this one in the fourth quarter, particularly. That's knocked away. Still Minnesota basketball. Shot clock at 14. Fowles looking for McBride, setting a screen for her, pulling up. And a rebound to Wilson. Quickly a timeout, and now the Aces are in a position to win the game.
Yeah, they sure are, and I think we're going to see, again, the connection between the 1 and the 5 in this as I would have Kelsey Plum push that pace, get that ball down court, and try to get it to the best player on the court. This is Wilson.
What did you think of the Lynx last possession and having McBride with that mid-range?
That's not a shot I dislike. I like most shots that McBride takes because she can hit big shots. But it was just off by a bit. Just by a bit.
14 seconds with which the Aces can try and drop a play. Is there any way they just try and go for a tie, or do you try and go for the win with the time you have?
Well, I think you do go for 3, but I think more from getting the foul in the paint rather than taking the three-point shot.
Oh, the old-fashioned 3.
Yes, let's go the old route.
Wow, that is so Aces.
Exactly, it's so Aces. This is not a big three-point shooting team, but they can get to the free throw line.
Pride night here at Target Center. A fired up crowd throughout this evening. They've been rewarded with excellent, high quality basketball. Just a great game. And even though it's tough to see this late lead evaporate, we're going down to the wire. .1 seconds left for Vegas. They're down by 2. They put it in the hands of Gray. Wilson loses it. Out of bounds. It's still Vegas ball.
Aces get a little bit lucky there. It looked like Wilson kind of lost her footing a little bit, just slipped a little bit on that.
Especially when the ball bounced up. It looked like it could have been anyone's ball.
Yes.
Here's another look at that play. And it's going to be under review.
All right.
Definitely one you want to have right at this point.
Yeah, you do appreciate that. You like it to be right, and you also like it to be quick.
Also to check up, I don't know if they might be looking at the time exactly, too, to get that 100%. You can see the
Let's
video
see,
replay that they're looking at.
Who it tips off of. That's really hard to tell.
It is. I don't know if it's enough to overturn, perhaps, based just on what they're looking at. But we shall see. Well, there have been 18 ties and lead changes. Minnesota has held the lead for the majority of the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was curious how this game was going to play out from the start, just because we knew that Vegas was coming off of a long time without playing a game, and you never know how that's going to impact a team. And then Minnesota was coming off kind of an emotional victory, so then you're kind of wondering, will they come out ready? And both teams, I thought, came out really strong at the start and have played really solid basketball all the way through. It's been a good game.
Still under review to determine the call. It was whistled Las Vegas basketball. It looks like we'll have a decision soon. .3 seconds left. Minnesota 6-7 this season. Still waiting to see. I mean, this is such a big moment to determine possession. This is between the Lynx getting fouled and holding on to win, or potentially facing a game-winning shot.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it will stay Aces basketball.
Right, so they couldn't determine that it was anything different than what they originally called.
They did add 0.2 of a second as well, 4.5 now on the clock.
A lot of options here.
Still some matters to discuss over at the scores table. But Jackie Young will be taking it out, Collier guarding her. Not sure if there's going to be another change or adjustment here. It looks like the players are pretty ready to have this ball inbounded.
They're trying to warm up now.
McBride is kicking, keeping those hamstrings warm.
Right. Well, you have momentum in a game, and things like this really kind of flatten it.
Yeah, it's taking the air out a little bit, but look, the fans,
Yeah,
they're sticking with it.
The fans got up, so let's do something here.
I very cautiously will say we're ready? Question mark?
I think so. I think you're right. Here we go.
Here it is. Wilson trying to get around. Dantas draws the foul.
And that would be as expected.
Number 5 on Dantas. 2 seconds left. Are you not upset at that? Because it's not a three-point play. You tie it, potentially.
Yeah, I think Bill Lambier's not upset.
Wilson, clutch free throw number 1. She is 9 for 11 from the free throw line. Teams have shot a combined, I don't know if you've realized, 51 free throws tonight.
Wow.
And Wilson ties the game calmly and assertively. And the Lynx now will have a chance for the game winner.
Yeah, with 2 seconds left on that clock. Well, we see them every time you see them in shoot around, and at the end of every practice, how do they finish up their practices? Half-court shots.
That's
and
right.
So I'm always amazed at how many of them actually go in. So this is something that has been practiced, but I think that's what we're going to be needing to do. Otherwise, we're looking at some OT.
It's very possible at this point. It's been, I would take free basketball of this game. And Leah, it is going to be in their front court. So when you look at this situation, because of the timeout, it's probably not enough time to get it into Sill for her to do a move. So maybe they're looking
Collier.
for Fee.
Yep. Oh, we're
And
gonna
another
go talk about
timeout.
it.
Exactly.
And if they just listened to us, we just said, get the ball into Collier and let's get rolling here.
But it's enough time to make a move at least.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm with you. Thinking about how to get that to Collier. I mean, McBride is always, going to be an option, but she's 3 for 12 for tonight.
Right. Who else has the hot hand in this one?
I mean, it's really been the posts.
And I don't know if we have time to dump that down low and turn around and do a shot out at the same time.
So Clarendon, the inbounder. That's Collier right at the top of the key.
See if Dantas comes up to set a...
Collier along the baseline. Clarendon has to call a timeout. Had to make sure that she did get that in, but a little problematic that they were not able to get that ball in.
Yeah, that's going to be key for trying to get the win, is getting the ball in.
Thank you. But I just mean with the multiple timeouts they've had this time. So
no, it is critical, and these are the moments. Like it looks easier than it actually is when you're trying to inbound a pass at the last minute of a game. That's very stressful.
And 2 seconds has the pressure of it, of you really can do something here. It doesn't have to be a heave. It doesn't have to be a Hail Mary. It can be, a good-looking shot potentially on how the play's drawn up. Different play here that Minnesota goes with. Clarendon into foul. She'll face up, and we're going to overtime. So it did end up getting into a post player. And we're going to step aside and have overtime coming up in just a moment. Game tied at 82. Free basketball here at Target Center. Overtime at Target Center. The Minnesota Lynx against the Las Vegas Aces. 40 minutes was not enough to determine this one.
Yeah,
so 5 extra minutes to go. Minnesota was up by 9 at the 3-minute mark, but they did not score again from 3:11 on. They were up 82 to 73.
And meanwhile, for the Las Vegas Aces, Kelsey Plum came in and decided she was going to score and dispersed the ball to her teammates and got them in a great situation.
Clarendon, a nice-looking long-range 2, very much needed for Minnesota to break that scoring drought.
Yeah, Minnesota's still shooting the ball well. It's 47.8% from the field.
Gray, no good off glass, but Cambage is there. That's not there either.
Yeah, those are shots that the Aces don't usually miss.
Collier going to reset with Clarendon. Under 10 to go. Clarendon swinging to McBride. Quick shot from 3. Rebound Cambage.
Yeah, it looked good from the release, but not quite there. Ooh.
Chelsea Gray, no look to Wilson, sprinting the floor.
Wow, she's impressive. And the way that Wilson gets up and down the court so quickly, she's happy to get the ball to her.
That is the kind of plays that you look at with the team that lead the WNBA in pace.
There you go.
Clarendon waiting for a Collier screen, pulling up inside the free throw line. That drops through.
Yeah, Clarendon says, I got you. In overtime, I'll do all the scoring.
Block by Foul sends Plum flying.
I like it.
The rim protection by Fouls, unmatched.
And it makes everybody think twice before you go in the paint. She's in your head before you get there.
Hamby, the baseline inbounder.
See how Gray holds her defender on her back.
I think she thought Hamby might have been there. Maybe she just lost it. Minnesota up by 2 here in overtime. Dantas pump fake, drive, kick. It is Collier for 3. Nice tap by Gray. She'll draw a foul, it looks like.
Yeah, The Lynx looked good there for the passes, the extra pass, but the shot just not on by Collier.
And that was a great play by Gray. Seeing fouls was right around her, trying anything possible. And on it, that's 5 on fouls. Dantas has 5, Clarendon has 5, and Cam Beige has 5.
Don't worry, fouls are not going to be a problem in this one.
Exactly. Cam Beige trying once more. Unusual to see her that close range miss on a couple possessions. McBride, high screen from fouls. McBride doesn't find anything, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, she's feeling like that got tipped.
Still a 2-point game. Midway through this first overtime period. Ooh, foul against, I believe, McBride. That sent Cam Beige to the ground. On McBride, that's just her second.
McBride thought there was a little exaggeration there by the look on her face.
That was a good slow motion, wasn't it? Cam Beige has all the time and makes them pay.
At the right moment, she's going to heat up here.
She's 2 for 2 from long range today. That gives Vegas back the lead, and the ball somehow finds its way into Sylvia's hands.
Sylvia's in the right place at the right time, finishes key basket.
She has great hands, so you knew she wasn't going to fumble that. And
that's exactly right.
Gray finding Cam Beige. That won't go. Clarendon to Dantas. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Clarendon dropping it into fouls. The patience on that possession.
Loving the energy that Clarendon has brought to this game.
Clarendon with 7 assists, fouls is up to 30 points with that. 13 rebounds and 4 assists today.
Yeah. It's just been such a pleasure to watch these elite players playing at such a high rate tonight. This has just been a fun one.
Just greatness tonight.
Yep.
By both sides. Plum guarded by McBride in a tough spot. Cam Beige looking for a long 2, and it's good. She's been shooting better from 15+ feet than right at the basket this overtime.
You're right.
A 1-point lead for the Minnesota Lynx. Clarendon attacking right into the chest of Cam Beige, and Cam Beige just sends that out.
Walks right past her.
We know Clarendon knows how to use her body, but Cam Beige knew what she was doing there.
Said, not when I'm over here. That's not happening.
So Clarendon back as the inbounder. Lobbing into fouls, who collects herself, and it's short. A 1-point game. Las Vegas playing in overtime, but they've had more than a week off at this point. That pass from Gray escapes Wilson, and she can't believe it.
Yeah, you knew they were going to go that route. I could tell that they were setting up to go Gray to Wilson, and the pass for the first time tonight just wasn't a great one from Gray. Everything else has been money from Gray, but this one was a miss.
Timeout on the floor, just a 1-point game. And I bring up that rest. That's something we talked about in the beginning of the game, where that might end up benefiting Vegas when you just don't have any recent miles. They last played last Thursday.
Yeah, that is, I'm never sure which way that's going to go. Sometimes it helps you and you need that rest, and people heal, and you're all those good things and you get a lot of practices in, and other times you come out and you're like, okay, we're rusty and we haven't had run, and you kind of, but you know, I basically think they came out and they've been ready to go from beginning to end.
And they have. And I think going deeper and longer into the game, that's when you do see that benefit even more.
Exactly.
27.5 seconds left. Minnesota coming out strong in this overtime period. They were held scoreless for over 3 minutes to end the game. They led by 9. It slipped away, but they have a 1-point lead and a chance to regain this victory. They've led the majority of the second half as well. Collier taking it out.
I'd like to see Clarendon get the ball in their hands and make a decision, probably a high pick, back screen.
Clarendon letting some time go off.
Here comes a screen from Fowles.
Clarendon looking for Dantas, gets it back, 2 on the shot clock. He'll launch and miss. Tipped back out to McBride, and the Lynx pull out the win. 90-89 is the final.
Yeah, the longer that thing went, I thought that was going the direction of the Aces. The Lynx pull off a big one here at Target Center tonight.
The way that shot missed, it felt almost as good as a make, because it was long enough for the Aces to not get it back, because that's what they were playing and waiting for.
That's exactly right. And with the rebounders they have on that team, that would have been, yes, a huge play. Impressive game by the Minnesota Lynx tonight with a short bench. Coming off a huge win against Atlanta, this team has to be feeling good right now.
A win against a very speedy and very fast Atlanta team, a game in which they came back from 18 points, came back from down 9 in the second half of the fourth quarter. That takes a lot of energy, physically, emotionally, mentally. So to get this kind of win, I think, means more coming after that dream win.
It sure does, and it also means the Lynx are getting to where they needed to be, in which we kind of thought the way they